Meantime, Mike Bloomberg agrees with Donald Trump's policy, but not the way he's handling them. Take a look.
There is no question in my mind that China steals intellectual property, has unfair trade practices, although I don't know why we don't insist on the same thing and say, you do this, we'll do it as well.
In the beginning of your answer, it almost sounded like you agreed with President Trump's pressuring them in terms of getting a new trade deal.
Yeah, a lot of my criticisms of Donald Trump are not his policies, it's the way he's doing it.
Not his policies, the way he's doing it. Republican fundraiser Dan Palmer on all of that. Dan, what did you think?
Sounds like Mike Bloomberg isn't running for president anymore. Maybe he's running for chief of staff. He just thinks he could manage the process better. I think he totally misunderstands the nature of the job. It's not a management job. It's a leadership job. He doesn't have a vision. He's not connecting with voters. You know, if the best he can offer is a personality contest, I don't like his odds.
What do you think he does after today? I mean, is it a concern right now to you that he stays in the race? Because I always get the feeling, and given the jabs the president always has at the ready against him, that Bloomberg worries him. What do you think?
I think the best outcome for the president's reelection would be that Bloomberg manages to stay above 15%, earns some delegates. Biden is going to claim a victory tonight no matter what. Right. Bernie is going to come out with a lead. And so three major candidates splitting the vote from here till Milwaukee would be, my letter to Santa if I was Donald Trump.
Dan, let me also ask you about this virus situation. And it's an outside event over which the president had no control, but he's got to deal with it right now. You've seen the crazy markets. You've seen us dip in and out of this talk that we're going to have a slowdown, maybe a recession if the economy contracts for a little while. It might be short-lived. And even a half-point cut in interest rates, not enough to dissuade, at least for today, investors of those concerns. Does it worry you?
I think the corona cut was already baked in, 50 basis points. Everyone expected that. The volatility in the market is not strictly coronavirus. You watch the S&P, it sort of plateaued around the time that Bernie won New Hampshire, and it was like wait and see. And then when he had a going-away victory in Nevada, it just fell off the cliff. And the amplitude of the drop was twice world market drops. The banking sector got hit. That's not coronavirus. That's fear of Bernie. Then when Biden came back with an outsized, unexpectedly large victory in South Carolina, the next trading day, the market regained a lot of its loss. People started to think, well, maybe Bernie could be stopped. But if he comes away with a big win today, I'd look for a lot of volatility in the markets later this week. And if he becomes the nominee, I think we're in for a major repricing, certainly in the financial sector and other sectors, which he's made a point of saying he's going after. So I think politics is having a large bearing on this market volatility.
Well, you might be right, but the reason why I mentioned it, Dan, is that Sanders has always been the front runner, near front runner status from almost the beginning of this race, and I think people collectively kind of poo-pooed his chances. But now with the coronavirus, now with the talk of slowdown at the very least, Federal Reserve, swooping in with an emergency rate relief to try to cushion the blow, there are concerns that if this environment lingers too long, the president's reelection prospects are in danger. What do you think?
Well, I think the president wants both feet on the gas and is pushing for more rate cuts. And the Democratic establishment is saying, hey, we need to clear the field. What you saw since South Carolina was the revolt of the Democratic donor class. I've been in the business of, building these finance teams and operating them. And I can tell you, we would be in contact with our counterparts in the other campaigns, trying to persuade those finance teams to cut off the spigot and come on board. The Biden people have created an on-ramp, and that's why you see this sudden surge in Biden fundraising over the last 5 or 6 days, and he better deliver the results this week, otherwise there won't be a lot more money.
We shall see. Dan Palmer, thank you very, very much. We leave it right now with the Dow down about 430 points.